Ladies and gentlemen, this is startling, chilling news, and you will see the video footage in 1 second. This is a Daily Mail article. Mob of Democrats harass lone government worker, blocking them from the Department of Education building. We know from the January committee that Capitol defendants face upheld trespassing charges in U.S. court. Reuters. Why were Democrats trespassing, possibly trying to foment some type of rebellion? Now, this is obviously hyperbolic. I'm obviously echoing the sentiments and the outrage and the words and logic and reasoning skills of Democrats who lectured and pontificated for years upon years since 2021 about Trump and Trump supporters. Why are Democrats doing this? Fox News, and you'll see the video footage in a second, as they surrounded a man in front of the Department of Education door. Lawmakers repeatedly insist they have the right to enter the building. No, they did not. No, they did not. The courts have upheld trespassing charges. They could have very easily been charged with trespassing. You cannot go to a government building because you're outraged. We learned that January of 2021. We have no clue if any of these Democrats were armed, and that's the truth. Likely they weren't, but we have no clue what their intentions were. We have no clue if they were trying to intimidate, harass. Well, they were. A gentleman outside the building, but this is what they were doing. Who invited these Democrats to the Department of Education? And this is your taxpayer dollars at work, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
We're coming in. We're coming in. Don't lock the door. We're coming in. Who are you?
We are coming in. Don't lock the door. By the way, hit subscribe to this channel right now. We are coming in. Don't lock the door. What is that? You cannot go into a government building. You think you could go to the Pentagon or the any Department of Defense building, the Federal Bureau of Investigation? You think you could go to any government building? After what we've heard from Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and Adam Schiff and all of these people, you think what we've heard for 4 years, you could just go into a building and say, don't lock the door, we're coming in?
We're coming in. We're coming in. Don't lock the door. We're coming in. Who are you?
You're not coming in.
Who are you?
Who are
you? Who are you?
Who are you, sir? Do you have business here?
Yes.
I've sent the assistant secretary a letter alerting her that we would be here today.
You can't just simply send a letter alerting that you're going to possibly break the law. This is trespassing. You can't go to somebody's house. You can't go to the government, a government building with a whole bunch of Democratic politicians as if you own the place, as if you have the right to harass and intimidate. If, God forbid, and I'm against any government official doing this, but if Republicans did this, it would be the end of the world. It would be the end of the world, and Trump is stopping a potential rebellion, potential insurrection. Who knows? Who knows? Why were these Democrats there? What was the goal? It was to intimidate. Very likely similar to what Senator Schumer did with Kavanaugh and Gorsuch when he said something along the lines, you'll reap the whirlwind, you won't know what hits you, you'll pay the price. This is how Democrats and the wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberals among us within government, the wonderful, highly educated, this is how they work. They're very moral and they're very wonderful. But they do not abide by their own alleged value system. I thought we learned from January of 2021 that you cannot go to a government building. But now you're going to government buildings trying to what? Foment a rebellion?
And we've asked her for a meeting. Yeah, I don't know that that's been accepted, so until that's accepted.
Who are you? And what do you do here?
What do you do here?
Security responsibility.
Get out of the way. We pay you. We pay for your job. We pay you.
We're members
of Congress. We pay you.
Nobody has accepted a meeting.
You are.
We haven't heard that from the secretary. We haven't heard that from the spokesman.
I'm relaying that.
You are not the spokesman for the department. You are a security guard.
Can you identify? You got to
We are members of Congress.
Where's your bag?
You are a security guard, so you have possibly a member of Congress. I don't know exactly who said that. They're acknowledging that this person is a security guard. They actually acknowledged that there was a security guard there, or that they think this person is a security guard. So we know intent. We know that they've acknowledged that there was somebody guarding or somebody preventing them from entering the building. They are now trying to intimidate, harass, and bulldoze or bully their way through. This is the epitome of the Democratic Party. Spend years upon years trying to imprison Trump on fomenting a rebellion, okay? And no, this is not the equivalent of that terrible day in January, but this is very similar, albeit with billions less property damage, to months and months of chaos and mayhem, very similar to May 29th of that year, when Democratic-leaning, liberal-leaning, left-leaning demonstrators, and I agree with why people peacefully demonstrated, but went and President Trump had to go into a bunker because they tried to infiltrate the White House. And there were billions in property damage throughout that summer. None of these Democrats cared. There are hundreds upon hundreds. There were hundreds of pregnancy care centers and religious organizations, buildings associated, churches with religious organizations that Josh Hawley talked about, vandalized, people intimidated after the Dobbs decision. This is how the wonderful, morally superior Democrats roll. This is not considered a rebellion to them. It would be considered a rebellion if Republicans had done the same thing. Let's continue.
Where's your bag?
We don't have any identification.
Where's your ID? Where's your ID?
We are not.
It's not good enough.
We are not a threat to security. We're members of Congress, and we want to ask the question.
We walk into the
How does he know you're not a threat to security? Why? Because you're a Democratic politician?
White House without having to go through magnetometers.
Can we get someone?
This is an outrage. This is an outrage.
I'd like to speak with someone who works here.
So what are you going to do? You're going to beat us up if we go in?
I mean, you're going to,
We want you to move out of the way.
We're not steamrolling you.
Get out of the way.
This says all access.
Sure that we
Get out of the way, they tell the man.
Stand aside, sir.
We're
This
members
says
of
all
Congress.
access entrance.
Please stand aside, sir.
I'm not standing aside.
Why not?
Because my role is to make sure that.
What authority do you have to block members of Congress from the oversight? We don't have oversight responsibilities. What?
Members of Congress don't have the right to simply enter a building when they're told to go away. This is hilarious and sad and frightening and chilling. A wonderful word Democrats use, chilling.
By what authority can you deny members of Congress their oversight role?
If you don't have a business reason to be here,
You do not have authority, sir. You do not have authority. There is no authority for you to deny members of Congress their oversight responsibility.
We're the
If you have an
appropriate.
appointment and you're on a guest list, we will let you in.
Sir, can I ask you a question? How are we on a guest list? Is what you're saying? Is what you're saying?
Or
that
you have to have an escort.
Let me
Somebody
ask
come
you a
down to
question.
escort.
Can I ask my question? Are you
Send them
telling
down.
me today that you have to be on a guest list in order to come to the Department of Education?
Either we are informed in advance if somebody's coming, or
Oh, they
You
know
were
we
informed.
were coming.
You were informed of the
So
Do they know that we're here?
Max, ask the question again. That's important.
Were you told, are you making this decision to stand in front of this door on your own behalf, on behalf of the Department of Education, or were you told to come out here and block members of Congress and ride the desk?
doing my job.
so everybody's
What is that? We're doing our jobs.
We're trying to save you.
billionaires and their cronies to come in, but not. There's a lack of transparency here. The members of Congress, the people's representatives, are not allowed in. This is not transparent.
Locking our kids out. Not only are they not letting us in, now they've called the Department of Homeland Security. We are members of Congress here to talk.
The Department of Homeland Security is involved because people are trespassing and there could be a possible attempt although I doubt it, and a rebellion by the wonderful Democrats who pontificated against such a thing. Hit subscribe to this channel. This is trespassing, and they committed a crime.